I know this can be done. I have a blueprint.
Yeah.
Where no welfare, we don't need welfare.
No.
It's enough finance in this country for us to build our own economic foundation where we won't need nothing from this government.
Yeah.
We can do that and get our own land, grow our own food, educate our children, and that will eliminate his reality like overnight.
Yeah.
And I believe that can be done.
Yeah, it can be done. That's why our master teacher put the blueprint out, because what happened is that it sounds beautiful, right? But how do you present that to somebody who say, well, I'm a Muslim and I don't like you because you're a Christian?
See, that's the key.
Or I'm a Christian and I don't like you because you're Jewish. Or I'm a Moor and I don't like none of y'all niggas. Or I'm a Master Mason and I don't believe in none of that stuff. This is the mentality of divide and conquer, separation. And what happened is nobody has the formula on how to bring that mentality together but Pardon the Babylonian. You know why? Because he uses Wu-nuwaupu to destroy these religious beliefs. People say, oh, Dr. York is always attacking. Listen, it's not working. We gave you your shot. It's been 6,000 years y'all been running the planet Earth with these religions. Y'all been getting worse. Y'all been killing the planet off and y'all been killing the people off. It don't work. And we're not going to come together because people say, I don't like you because of your religious background. So the master teacher brought in Wu-nuwaupu. Under Wu-nuwaupu is the only way this will happen. You're not going to do it as a Christian, Muslim, Jew, because even when you become a Christian, you got different denomination of Christian. A Jehovah's Witness ain't going to get along with a Catholic or a Lutheran or a Presbyterian or a Mormon. You hear me? Same thing with a Muslim. A Wahhabi sect ain't going to get along with the Sunni or the Ansar or the Shiites. Or the Orthodox, the something harder than Jews and the Canaanites ain't gonna get along. So the whole thing is that we gotta destroy the spell. Once the spell is lifted, then we can come together, but you gotta respect people's natures. Because everybody's not on the same page. So you gotta respect the patient. Once you put a universal plan down, then you gotta respect that person's nature, because everybody don't do the things the way you wanna do it. Love and unity. That's why our master teacher always said is the key to get him out. You know what I'm saying? It is the key to free us also.
What do you think about bringing the books together, bringing them together in marriage, that will solve that?
Which books you talking about?
It's all of the holy books.
Oh, we already did that already.
Right. So
No, it's not bringing it together. It's removing the falsehood out of it, and then it's already together. Because you got to remember this. If I take this book right here, right, which is the original manuscript, right? I create a Bible, a Quran, and a Torah from that, right? That means that you took pieces out of here. In order to create a lie, you have to get the truth. You hear me? So what happened is, once you remove the religious belief and the man-made opinionated ideology out of it, it's Egyptian again. It's our stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have to bring it together, just remove it and tell you, yo, this is where this came from. And this came from this book. It's like the last update. The master teacher said when Moses came off Mount Sinai with the 2 tablets, he wasn't holding the 10 Commandments. He was holding the Enuma Elish and the Gilgamesh epics. You know what I'm saying? So they show you right there that he was getting these from Babylonian doctrine. But his Babylonian doctrine was nothing but a Sumerian take on the ancient Egyptian doctrine. It all goes back to Egypt. People say, well, why Egypt so special? Because that's where they landed at, in the Nile area.
But the Christians and the Muslims and the Hebrew Israelites, they use that verse when Moses was taking our ancestors up out of Egypt and he drowned. Pharaoh.
Yeah, but they had that story is written on the walls of Egypt thousands of years before Abraham even went to Egypt to meet Pharaoh. You hear me? Before there was a Noah created, that story was already written.
That's how they justify
Somebody, what they did is they copied the story and they said, "You know what? I'm gonna make a couple coins off that."
Thank you, God.
You're welcome.
All right, this online question is from somebody named Carlos Hernandez.
Yes.
Carlos wants to know, he said, in one of the classes I heard a brother state that a physical body may be man. However, the spirit is of a woman. So how is this possible? How is this when the spirit is neither male nor female, only feminine charge as opposed to masculine charges?
It's not really that deep. You're dealing with stuff dimensionally. See, what happened is because you're in a physical plane, our master teacher said that you don't know what spirit and the soul is because you're still stuck under their definition of what it is. And in Africa, in ancient Tamaray or Kamem, the word for soul is ba, and the word for spirit is ka, and the word for ether is the word akat, right? You hear me? And the word for body is cat. So what happened is, when you go back into the Nuwaupic language, you actually have a better understanding of those words and those definitions because you're using English while she has a physical body of a man, but she acts like a woman. How many men you know act like that? Huh? So
this is Atlanta.
what type of spirit? Now here's the thing about it. You know, and I know when a woman walks out, she has a certain twist to her. Bam, 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 bam. Now, the spirit that's inside this man has, sometimes they be even more sassy than some women. So that spirit is feminine, but it's vibrating in a different dimension. It says that you can't comprehend it because you're in the physical. See, what happened when they say, flesh is my flesh, blood is my blood, they talk about the dimensions. Another being can be physical, but it vibrates on a different frequency level. See, what you call death is the European ideology that when you die in this physical form that you cease to exist, and that's not true. Your spirit is in another dimension, but it's actually channeling into this physical plane inside the flesh.
Okay, hold on. Before you get too far, I think he's trying to...
I understand what he's saying. That's why I'm trying to go into it.
He's trying to say spirit has no gender, so how could us...
No, but see, what happened is you're still dealing with their words.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's English. This is why the master teacher is putting so much emphasis on learning the Wu-nuwaupu language. That way you can understand the difference between ha and who. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Which is male and female. But sometimes when you say, when Pop said no, there's no feminine, you know what I'm saying? Up like this. Stand up for a minute, sister. What is that right there y'all looking at?
Female.
What makes her a female?
Her body makeup.
Okay. Well, she didn't have a body. What makes her a female?
When she got her hand on her head.
I understand. You can do that too. You have the mobility to do that. You know what I mean? But here's the question. What makes her feminine?
Nature.
Huh?
Oh, personality or spirit, I guess. What she
There you go. The actions. What you do, right? So what happened is it's an energy dealing with positive, negative, centrifugal forces. You feel what I'm saying? So the whole thing is that the being that vibrates on the frequency level ain't the same as the other being's spirit because it's a different force. You feel me? That's what you call the attraction. That's why male and female are attracted to each other because of the opposites. You feel me? So what happened is when certain beings have both, people are attracted to them. Men are attracted to them and women are attracted to them. And you call them what? Bisexual. Because they vibrate on both frequencies. Somebody's like, damn, I like that nigga. I don't know why, but I like him. But he got a girlfriend. But you wonder what? Why do I like this dude? And I don't even like men because it's the
feminine spirit.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But it's a vibration. You feel what I'm saying? And this is what you call a true hermaphrodite. This is in a book called, I think it was Atlantis. Was it talk about it, or was that was that Atlantis? We talk about the hermaphrodite, but the vibration, the spirit and stuff. If I'm not correct, it should be in that book right there. It's supposed to be about it. Dimensional, that's what it is, dimensional shift. So, but what happened is, let's see if I can pull that up though. People get caught out there because they don't know the language. And when Papa has, so you understand like this, the master teacher is limited with Wu-nuwaupu as opposed to teaching it in English. Do y'all understand what I mean? Huh?
What are you saying? It.
I said the master teacher, because we speak English, we can't get Wu-nuwaupu in its pristine purity because we're in English, right? So he can only relay it the best he can in our language, which is not our language, which is English. So when he breaks down certain things, we only comprehend it from an English point of view because this is the definition that we're trapped in. You know what I mean?
Okay. I think I see what you mean because when we were studying Islam, he was saying there's certain words in Arabic that has no English translation or...
Exactly. So what happened when he started relaying certain stuff about soul and spirit, it's kind of hard to relay because people still looking at it as little spooks, angels with wings and halos and little robe, half-naked babies flying around. And you're saying this is our mind. You feel what I'm saying? So when the master teacher format the books for us, he can't break down a quasar in his language to us. Can be like, I don't know what that is. It's like a quasar. Oh, I know what a quasar is. And so no. And the way, oh, I don't know what that is. It's like a supernova. Oh, I know what that is. So now he's forced to reference other scholars because that's what they use in their terms and to relay messages to you. So you're under the spell still, even with the right knowledge, right wisdom in English. This is why you have to learn the Wu-Sabat language so you can study the doctrine in our language and go to a higher level. But you're breaking the spell only on a certain level of information-wise because you're still using English. So stuff has to be formatted, you know what I'm saying? Reference, research, in order for him to relay a message to you so you can break you out of a certain spell and bring you up higher. This is why the master teacher always keeps saying, don't believe me, check it out. You hear me? Because I can't show you the universe and you're speaking English. So I gotta give you what you want so you can want what I have to give. So I have to use a quote from here, a quote from here, a quote from here, because you wouldn't accept it from me from face value as trust because I'm too dark. You know what I'm saying? So I'll let the white man give you a few quotes here and there, and that's deep. And then you start studying this guy's books, and now you're caught in a spell even deeper because you didn't trust the master to say, look, all I wanted you was to accept this one quote, not the rest of the book, because it goes into other stuff that you can't handle because it goes into witchcraft and demonic stuff. But you thought you were trying to go ahead of the master. And he knows what's right and wrong because he knows where it came from because they were there when it was written. When they were casting spells on it, they were there when it was written to put you under a certain spell to get you to work and work the minds. And he talking about us, but the Caucasian race. But you got them in your blood now because they have tied in divine. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And now you got Caucasian blood in you. You feel me? And this is why you have conflicts and go back and forth and don't understand why you are confused and why you're lonely and why you get stabbed when it rains or certain things happen and you don't understand why you're going through these unnecessary emotions. You feel what I'm saying? So he had to format the doctrine in that language so you can comprehend what he's trying to say. That's why a certain book called From the Law of Man, Science to Healing, Science Creation, it's Adam Calendar, and Who's Who the Planet Earth, and different books that he wrote back then, people couldn't cut, even when he tried to break it down scientifically, people couldn't understand it. So I got to use their books to explain what I'm trying to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't comprehend what gonorrhea or syphilis is or the different diseases in this ancient tongue, but you understand it when you say gonorrhea, syphilis, herpes, AIDS. You feel me? Cough. You know, so arthritis, bronchitis. You say you have to go by that, and you're still in their tones. What they call cancer back then ain't the same cancer that you have right now, because it's under a different name. You feel me? Emotional. When they said you're crazy, they said this person was out of their mind. I'll give you an example. In the Bible they talk about familiar spirits. Anybody familiar with that?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
They didn't want to tell you that those familiar spirits were your relatives. Because the word familiar comes from the word family or familia, which means someone you know or related. But when they were talking about like these familiar spirits were demonic, how can you be demonic? This was your grandmother. Your grandmother was a good person. She went to church every day, even though it wasn't true, but she was devoted and sincere about what she believed in. So now you're trying to say she was demonic? But that's still a familiar spirit because that's your family. But this is what religion have done. What happened when the master teacher had to break these dams for us, he's limited using English to teach us the full potency of Wu-nuwaupu. This is why he said, learn the language. It's like when he was talking, when we was Muslims, you remember that, man? He said, learn Arabic and you wouldn't be under the Sunnis. Because Sunnis will tell you anything. The Wahhabis, the Arabs will tell you anything. But once you learn Arabic, no, it's not even in the Quran. Why are you telling me these lies? They hated us for that. Because we taught the children fluent Arabic, classic Fusa. But they didn't like that because we can actually read it for ourselves. Well, the Quran says this in Arabic. You telling me it says this in English, and I can read Arabic, brother. And don't say that. La ilaha illallah do not mean there's no God but God. It means these beings, there will be no these beings. Because Allah comes from the word El Elo or Elohim. Or Elo, you know what I'm saying? Because they changed the tone from Quraysh, which is with the R sound, the E sound to an R sound, with the Aleph. This is why when they added vowels into the Quran, it changed the tone and the definition of the word. You know what I'm saying?
They took the plural out and made it singular?
Yes.
Okay.
And now you're dealing with one being. Is there no other God but God? Then who are you talking about? Why would they say, Allah is alone? Why would you have to say, and no partners, if he was the only one? So just show you that there were more than one being, but they want to keep it all rationalized into monotheism is the worship of one being when you was dealing with other ancestors. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah.
right.
Did I answer your question though, brother?
Yeah, okay. This question is from a sister. Her name is Tina Nugent. She said, Hatep. She said, I've been a student of the master teacher for a year now, and I want to know if you could answer or point me in the right direction for answers. She said, my mother is Lumbee Indian and my father is Vietnamese. I want to know where the Asians come from. I understand that the original Native Americans were black. I also understand that Ho Shin came over before the white man. So please clarify because I want to know where I came from. See, I have no contact with anyone Vietnamese and my mother has no culture.
You said Vietnamese and what other Indian tribe she says?
Lumbee Indian.
What region
Her
is that
mother's
from?
Lumbee Indian, her father's
You said Colombian Indian.
Lumbee.
What region is that?
L-U-M-B-E-E.
Is that East
Asia.
Asia? East Asia?
Yeah, that amount to that.
Oh, boy,
She knows she's saying she's Nubian, but she wants to know,
She said her mother's
Where
Lumbee
Asian-
Indian and her father's Vietnamese.
Vietnamese. She said, I want to know, where do Asians come from?
Asians are the Anu people that migrated out of Africa and went to Asia hundred thousands of years ago, right? And what happened is they came in contact with a Mongolo, which is the Jumanians that came down on this planet, also a species of extraterrestrials. When they mixed in with these people, they gave birth to what you call the ancient people of Japan and China before the Hans and the Ming dynasties. You hear me? And this is why you see these ancient. If you look at ancient Japan, you actually see a Nubian more look than the ones you see now.
Yeah, I've seen documentaries.
You know what I'm saying? These were the beings that how they originally looked. They were some of them look like they from Mali or Namibia or the Andaman Islands. You feel what I'm saying? Which is off the coast of the Indian continent. You know what I'm saying? And these beings they were called the Anu people that have migrated out of Africa and more into them areas. You can find this in a book called "Is There Jesus a God?" where he talked about the Anu people.
Okay.
And this is why you look at the most predominant tribe in Japan, they call them what? Anu. A-I-N-U, Anu. No one asked them where they get that name from. That name came from ancient Egypt because there was a city in Egypt called Anu. The Greeks call it Heliopolis, which is the city of the sun. And in the ancient Sumerian language, their most high is called Anu,
Okay.
which means the most high.
I have another
Yeah, go
question
ahead.
with someone called Glorious Nine, Kingdom of El.
Yeah.
And this person wants to know, why do Egyptians look bad in the Bible? Bad, according to the Bible. There are different Egyptians in the Bible.
Because if I steal your story and I get rich off of it, and you want to do research on the person where to get the origin from, I'm gonna dirty them up real quick. Muslims, Christians, and Jews, majority of their doctrine came out of Egypt. But Muslim, Christians, and Jews don't get along. But they all agree on that the Egyptians were pagans. Because when you find out, you start studying ancient Egypt, you find out you can find your Adam and Eve story in Egypt under Geb and Nut. You can find your Noah story in Egypt about the flood. 'Cause there was a flood that happened thousands of years ago, and that's why you see a lot of corrosion on the Sphinx. They told you it was a great flood that happened. You know what I'm saying? You can find your Solomon story in Egypt as Ramses II, 700 wives, 300 concubines, and also known as the Master Builder. You hear me? You can find your Jesus story in Egypt as Horus, the son of Isis and Osiris. So they do, in order for them to keep a monopoly of keeping you in the spell of person, places, and things, they had to make Egypt look seem like it's so wicked that you would never want to deal with Egyptians. Or the Egyptians were bad people because they wouldn't let God's people go. But didn't God tell Moses, go tell Pharaoh, let my people go? But before you get to Moses, I'm going to harden his heart. So I'm going to make him say no. Why would God do that? That's what our master teacher was saying years ago. Why would God make Moses travel all the way to Egypt from Jerusalem, right, wherever he was at, would take him 4 months on the caravan? There was no cars and airplanes back then. So you talk about through sandstorms, through cold nights, traveling to Egypt, and when he get there, God already made this guy say no. Why would God have to harden his heart to make him say no? Because he knew that God would say, you can go. But this is the fabrication story that these Hebrews created so they can make you feel sorry for them.
And they look just alike. They were black as the night. Both of them.
Who was?
The Egyptians and the Hebrews.
No, the Hebrews was the white man.
Oh, the Hebrews.
Yeah, they wasn't Egyptians. They wasn't even black.
Hyksos.
Huh?
It was the Hyksos.
The Hyksos, those were Caucasians like Shamar Moore, Mariah Carey, Vin Diesel type. Not like
Greek, right?
not like Robert Redford, Brad Pitt. They was like dumb guys. You know what I mean? Cause they were the Mizraimites. They came out of Canaan and mixed it and came into Egypt and took over a certain portion of Egypt. You know what I mean? They were called.
Abraham was what?
Abraham was a Chaldean.
Okay.
He was like an Indian.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? See, what happened is this. That's not our story. Because when you go to the walls of Egypt, you look in this room, you see yourself.
Right.
They don't have no pictures. And that's why they said don't make any graven images, because if you show me pictures, we're not related, nigga. I don't look nothing like you.
Right.
But I see myself on the walls of Nubia and Egypt. And maybe some parts of Mesopotamia on the walls in Iraq. But the reason why they put that law out there, they didn't want you to know, and they try to make this irrelevant.
Right.
No, do not make any great. Oh, the Egyptians, they shouldn't even be putting that on the wall. Why? Because they got records of who the people look like. You didn't want that up there, so now people turn their back on it because they say, well, you ain't supposed to make any graven image. Nobody know what color God is. Then why does the white man catch skin cancer in the sun? Why he can't survive under the sun? If he was the original man, he should be in tune with nature. This is the spells and deception that they put on our people for so long.
Now, do you know the name of this pyramid? I was reading this in one of the magazines. I think it was Time magazine about a year ago.
Yeah,
They had just uncovered
yeah.
a mound, a pyramid down in South America. I don't know if it was Rio de Janeiro or Peru. The description, the features, it looked like the Olmeca.
What part of that? Veracruz?
And they say they know that this
Rio,
was
that's down in
of
Brazil.
the Negro
No, Veracruz is
race.
not in Brazil.
People from all
Janeiro is
over the
Brazil.
world.
No, it's at Veracruz.
Oh, I don't know.
People
Yeah.
from all over the world
Yeah.
been going there, taking pictures of it, and
Yeah.
it's crazy, you know.
That's our ancestors.
Right.
They came from they walked over here from the African side when
Exactly.
they were connected.
Wasn't the two brothers that left Mali?
Oh, you talking about Ken Master Musa and Abu Bakr the second?
That was the Aztecs. The father of the
No,
Aztecs.
those were Africans. There was Mandings that came from out of Mali.
Okay, so Montezuma,
Montezuma is in South America.
right.
But the person was Ken Massi Musa, and his brother, of course, named Abu Bakr II. Abu Bakr went over into South America, and they thought he was Quetzalcoatl or Inky, because he had a certain feature that fit him, and they thought that's why they gave the gold to him, because they thought he was that person.
Okay.
And there's another guy that came named Hernandez Cortez, they also thought was Inky, who supposed to came back to get the gold. But Inky got locked up because he violated some laws that he did, and he was not allowed to come back to Earth. He was locked on the barrel. So what happened is he missed the time to come back, so they had a prophecy that somebody's going to come back and claim the gold. And these two guys came and fit the description, long, tall, white beard, and they fit the description. This is why they turned that gold over to these two fellas. You know what I'm saying? And what happened is Ken Massanubu was looking for his brother, and that's why he came to the shores of America to look for his brother, Abu Bakr II. That's in a book called Set the Record Straight that the master teacher Partner Babian wrote.
Yeah, I got that. That's
Yeah, so read it again. It goes in more detail with that.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this person named Mike Lowry wants you to explain how this world is an illusionary world.
You said how this world is an illusionary world? Because you're dealing with person, places, and things. Everything that you see is all dealing with tone, vibrational, and frequency. It's called ethers. Everything vibrates. So everything is a form of light. You know what I'm saying? But it vibrates on different levels. The slower the vibration, the more solid. Because the faster vibration, it's not there. So everything is in 3D. So when I see you, I don't see you. I see the energy that comes off of your body. You feel me? Because wherever light is traveling, it's like this right here. They said this podium look red, but this is the most fastest traveling. No. This is the color that's bounced. That's
Reflecting.
That's reflecting. It's not the color of the object. It's the reflection because it won't absorb red, so it looks red. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all understand that again? I'm saying it one more time. Any object you see has a color to it, right? the object won't absorb it. It reflects it, so it gives off the color that you see. You hear me? That's an illusion. There's so much illusion. There's what you have to eat, you have to breathe. You have different days that you deal with this realm, right? That's, you know what I'm saying? In order for you to survive in this realm, you have to do these things. These are different things that vibrate on different frequencies. It gives a form of illusions. This is in one of the books. I think it was in the book called it's called Answers and Questions. Is it called Questions and Answers in Debate? Series book 16, right? And it breaks down about light. Because you got to understand what light is. You hear me? Because the light is the illusion. You hear me? Right here. It says right here. How is another person created from a beam of light? Right? The master teacher said, if the light contains energy and the substance of the person is energy, when the reflected beam hits a mirror and bounces back, it will create the holographic image of the person. And if they are there for the mind's eye to see, then they are there. By that I mean, if you see a reflection of a person in the mirror and don't know that it's not the real person, you who are in your mind will be telling yourself the truth that is the person. What frequency is light inside vibrating on? It depends on the density level of the person in question and how old their soul and each body is. You know what I'm saying? So, what I was saying, like we said earlier about the illusions, it says time is equivalent. Let me see. I'm trying to find the thing when the master teacher was breaking down about it, about traveling. Because when you travel at a certain rate of speed, you can actually create a duplicate of yourself. Did you know that?
Where are you reading that from?
It's reading from Question and Answers, Debate and Discussion, Series Book number 16, scroll number 140.
I got a question one told me to ask.
Yeah.
They want to know.
Hold on, let me finish this real quick. They asked Pop about quartz and bias, right? He said in the book, Man from Planet Earth, scroll number 80 explains how a hologram is split beam of light, just as clonings are split cells, which have their own root in light energy. So one can clone an image the same way one can clone cells, on and on. In ancient teachers, they put it this way. While all is in all, it is the equality true that all is in all. We use it, damn, I'm trying to find that verse, though. Well, basically, this is a good book to check out because it goes in more detail about it. But it breaks down how light, that we was put under illusion that light, in the beginning was the light. And God said light was good, but everything came out of darkness. You understand what I'm saying? And what happened is that when this frequency of what you call the light, when the rays of the dark matter, when you go into space, as our master teacher said years ago, it's complete black. Then you can't see stars or suns. Why space is cold if the suns are so hot? The closer you're supposed to get out, the closer you get to the sun, you should be burning up, right? But when space is cold, so that show you right there that they're not giving off heat unless the rays of the sun hit the atmosphere and causes friction and it produces heat. You hear me? This is why this is an illusion. You know what I'm saying? So when you see the sun, it's not really as light as you are. You're looking at a form of energy that's hitting your eyes from the friction, from the rays from the sun, which is the dark energy hitting the atmosphere of the earth. You hear me? So the light is the illusion. Because before the light, you was in a state of darkness. And this is why it said it was an illusion when you're in the physical realm. Because everything vibrates on different frequencies dealing with light. But before that, when we was in a clean creation, we was in a state of darkness. Yeah, what was your question about that?
They wanted to know how or what book would you get to find out. Well, is this your first time around? Have you lived in another time and space, or is this your first time around?
Well, according to what the master Pt.2 Babylon said, he said the first time that I came here didn't mean I didn't exist in other places before I came here. He said people that was born after 1970, when the vortex opened up, they were all new souls that came through. He referred to them as the golden children. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
After 1970.
Yes. And he said that, I think, let me see. Let me go.
I think I got that book.
You have that book?
Yeah, I have that.
Let me go into that book real quick. It's called The Golden Children.
It's it right here, The Golden Children.
Exactly. If you go to page 3, verse 31. For each golden child born from 1973 to 2003, at the same time of their birth, there was a fire child born the opposite in nature. Their firstborn was a child in 1973. So this book will break down the time that the golden children were coming through. You hear me? This is after the seven seals was opened. And I remember the classes back then when the master teacher was teaching this to us, he was saying that anybody after 1970 was sent here, and they were new souls. These ain't people that was reincarnating back. Anybody before 1970, y'all been here numerous of times.
Before 1970.
Yeah, anybody that was born 1970 have been incarnated back and forth from time over time. Y'all kept coming back because you kept feeling what I was supposed to do. It's like the master and his disciple. He gave you certain information and then you fell, so now you have to start over again. Certain things that you didn't conquer. Like some people like, damn, this guy's going to always be a nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was going real good at school. He was a great A student. He's got around the wrong dudes and then he fell off and now he's a criminal. Now he's doing life in prison. Yeah, that would be considered a failure. You feel me? Because you didn't get anything accomplished positive in your life. You didn't overcome certain things. So what happened is now you got to start over again. Certain people, certain things is how people got trapped. And they had to keep coming back. But we at that age that we're in that age where they was waiting for, with the cycle, the 24,000 year cycle, was going to come to year 2000 when the end of the 24,000 year cycle. But this is the good book to also read. It's The Golden Children, Patarak. It's right here on page 1. Likum, your Kara'u children are really not you. They only come through your DNA. The golden children started their final incarnation. You're that final incarnation into chosen persons in 1973 on up to 2003, over a 40-year span. No, not all Kara'u children are not even Nagaro Kara'u children, Negroid children, only selected ones. Not as many as you would think. They don't know who they are themselves. They may feel strange, not of this planet, or Kawak, or cosmos. Many have great sakam powers to learn to see that things with a third eye, an inner vision. Many separate from others and appear to others to be mentally unbalanced and are called it nuts, insane, crazy, strange, different, or loners.
Schizophrenic.
Oh, it's not schizophrenic, it's just the emotions they're going through. Because they don't hear voices like that. You know, like somebody, I'm talking to Jimmy, John, and Mike. You feel me? They range in all ages between that time that the last was born 2003. Don't be fooled and don't fool yourself in thinking you are a golden children or you gave birth to golden children. You may be one or may not give birth to one. Don't claim it or force it. It started with females who in turn gave birth to males, so that the two will be drawn together to birth golden children, or Wahu Kora, one child. So what happened is, you know, this is one of the things that Master Teacher, and then what happened is after 1970, you know, the children had a different type of mentality. They was gifted and they were very unique. But what happened is a thing called hip hop distracted them. Because it was a gift, the way they were able to memorize rhymes off the top of their head and freestyle and stuff like that, right? But then the evil one got his hand onto the art form and start using it to make money when he started bringing in gangster rap and these negative stuff doing it. And now the children had got distracted from something that was trying to express themselves. Now it became something negative. And now the children are really caught up in this culture that's self-destructive. These people that these golden children that came here to raise you and save the planet have been distracted by the Luciferians and this tool they use in hip hop to stray them off the path.
Will they recover?
That's what Wu-nuwaupu is. We can only get those who want to be saved. You feel me? But as long as you got people like Jay-Z and Kanye West and Beyonce and them, they just selling a lot of people out for millions of dollars. And at the end of the day, they're going to get theirs too by their own overlords. Any other questions? Got any more questions, brother?
Yeah.
Did that answer that question for you?
That's what we're
What question was that? I forgot.
How to raise your vibration?
That's what the question you want to ask? We have different tools in our order called Sons of the Green Light, which is a Sufi order that we had when we was Ansar Law community, Nubian Islamic Hebrews. Ancient mystic order of Melchizedek was when we was in the Nubian Hebrew Holy Tabernacle Ministries, right? In the ancient Egyptian order. We have information in there where they show you how to concentrate, meditate, and also how to control your polarities and how to raise your vibration. But if you need but you need to study what vibrations are and what they're used for and understand the science of tones. We have a book called, you got that book called Wavelength A? That's a book that deals with tones. And it's an actual fact called Actual Fact number 18. Tones, sound, vibrational frequency, DNA. Where it talks about the whole tone doctrine and emotional energy. When you read those, and you gotta get the basics and be equipped of what tones and how important these tones are. Because what happens is if you're not vibrating the right tones, you bring in the other beings that vibrate that tone and they take over. The reason why interdimensional beings couldn't come on this planet at one time is because the planet Earth was vibrating at a different tone or frequency. So what they did is in 1952, if I'm not mistaken, from the Man from Planet Risk, they were able to influence certain musicians to change the tones and speed of the music. And when they did that, these extraterrestrial beings who vibrate on that tone were able to come here. You hear me? And you gotta remember that if it was 1952, what was popular during that time? Abstract jazz. The birth of what? Rock and roll. You hear me? And what happened is these jazz guys were taking a lot of drugs. If you know about, Parker and all them guys, you know what I'm saying? And these guys were high and tapping into forces, and they don't know what they were tapping into. Like, how this guy's playing these tones, and it's like so different than anybody else, because these guys were high. And they were tapping into interdimensional beings that were influencing their tones, and these guys were changing the frequency of the sounds. And this is how these beings were able to come here. You call them possessions, or he got possessed by something. This is how these beings are able to do this. This is why when a person's drunk, like our master teacher has taught us, they try to push them down so they can cause them bleed so they can take over their body. You get drunk real bad one night and this being took over your body, drives you home. And the next morning, like, dude, you was tripping last night. I don't even know how I got home. And we heard those stories before, right? And it might not happen to you, might have been in your boy.
Some of them have said it.
Huh?
Some of us have said it.
Exactly. Some of us definitely have said it.
Now, is it the earth? Okay, like the plants,
Huh?
flowers, like the nature,
Yeah.
the vegetation.
Yeah, what about it?
All the vegetation, aren't they on the same frequency?
Everything is part of nature. Everything is vital on their own frequency. That's why you said you have to respect nature.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You can come in tone with that. and get on the
Exactly.
same
But you
frequency
say,
just
but you
fine.
have to first. You got to respect yourself first.
Exactly.
Then you got to understand who you are, and then once you know who you are, then you know about what you need to do for yourself
Right.
to bring yourself up to where you need to be.
So that's the key. It said, I am in the love of the all.
And all love
All
is in
love
me.
is in me.
Exactly.
I am one with the all.
And the all is one with me.
One with me. So we got.
I can survive as an individual. I cannot survive as an individual. Well, how'd that go?
I can do anything.
I can succeed. What?
With the all. I can succeed.
I haven't said it so long. I should say it like 24/7.
I can succeed as part of the all and fail as an individual.
Okay, that's the part I was trying to remember.
Yeah. So that
Yeah.
means we got to respect all of that creation, dog. But everything-
Exactly, but the Caucasian race is the only person-
ecological system.
But the
We got
Caucasian race is the
even
only.
ant,
Yeah, but the Caucasian.
cockroach.
The Caucasian race is the only race that don't respect nature.
Right.
Because that's why they sit and climb mountains.
Yeah.
They jump off of bridges and bungee jump. They stick their hands inside alligators' hands and pull it back. You say they drive cars at such high speed that go past the G-forces and crash and burn. You hear me?
Have you heard of this worm? This worm. Lifespan is only 24 hours.
Yeah.
Ancient. He grew in a tree on an island off China and Japan.
Yeah.
These people, so many white folks, they go there every year.
Yeah.
At a certain time of year in the spring. They drill a hole in the tree.
Uh-huh.
They put something on and put a stick in there, and the worm get on the stick, and they bring it out, and they eat it. They eat everything that's moving. They don't eat eggs like
They
we eat
scavengers.
eggs. They do not eat eggs.
They
put
scavengers.
the eggs in an incubator.
Yeah.
And when the little fetus grow, they'll boil it, and they'll crack it, and then they pull the little fetus, the little DD out, and eat it.
Yeah.
And just about, I don't think it's been 2 months.
Yeah.
When that east wind, that tsunami rose up in China and
Yeah.
Thailand and devastated, wiped out
It's no,
millions.
listen, it's no different than a lion walking up to your infant son
Yeah,
and eating him. You're like, oh, that's wrong.
you're right.
But not to the lion.
No.
So you're looking at their nature. So you got to remember that these Caucasians are Homo canines.
I know, Ken.
You know what I'm saying? So they will eat anything. They flesh eaters.
Right.
They wasn't originally like that, but what happened when they tried to protect them from the Fugarides. They crossbred them with a canine, and then how these beings became blood gods,
Right.
or they want flesh,
So that's
human
what
flesh.
came from the Fugoroid.
No, they were being attacked by the Fugaroids. Fugaroids is not all Caucasians come from the same source.
And it mixed,
You have different species. You have 3 different species of Caucasians.
right,
Yeah, what you about to say, sir?
Yeah, brother.
that's right.
We enjoyed the session, but we're gonna have to leave.
Okay,
We'll be back.
we'll see you next time.
Give respect.
Thank you for coming through, all right? I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Now,
I have a question on that same thing where he's
Yes.
a person named Lascellus Graham says, if Canaan is the Caucasian, how is it that his descendants are ruling us and above them, the Indo-Arab, leaving us at the bottom? If the Bible is fallacy, how is it that what they said about us seems to be true, as being that Canaan is the black man with kinky hair, because it and his skin is the curse, and that he would be a servant of servants as well as Canaan, as well as the Caucasian, the servant of the Indo-Arabs, and we are in bondage to the Caucasian.
Repeat that question more. It's a long question. Repeat that one more time so I can soak it. I can soak it in.
I was glad
They
to
don't-
answer
they don't-
that one.
Say it one more time.
He wants to know if Canaan is the Caucasian, how is it that his descendants are ruling us and above them, the Indo-Arabs, leaving us at the bottom?
Yeah, go ahead.
And he said, if the Bible is a fallacy, how is it that what they said about us seems to be true?
Okay, I got it. That's an old school question right there.
Yeah, yeah.
You hear me?
1955.
Story was plagiarized out of ancient tablets. That's why you see certain prophecies come to pass or predictions, because this is something that came out of books called the Wu-Nuwaupu and the Gilgamesh epics, when they was talking about the creation of the Wu-Nuwaupu, which is the Caucasian race. When they was talking about Canaan, they were talking about the albino that came out of the Nubian seed, right? But if you remember reading inside the scriptures of the Bible, it said that, how the master teacher said years ago in the school of HTM, Holy Tabernacle Ministry, Heliopolis Thieves in Memphis, he said that the Canaanites went up to the Caucasus Mountains and came in contact with the Fugarides that were there, and his children mixed in with them, like Ammar and them. It's a book called Are the Caucasian Edomites that goes into much detail where it breaks about which tribe of these 11 tribes of Canaan mixed in with these Fugarides. And one of the seeds came out black, which is the Hamites. You know what I'm saying? We came from the word Cam, which means Kamim in the ancient, or Kemet in the ancient Egyptian language for black, by way of the Pleiadian word Kamahu, which is the word for Pleiades. You feel me?
But they didn't mix it with the Fugoroid.
He's under the
The
impression.
Pleiades are the Fugarides.
He's under the impression that the Caucasian are the servants of the Indo-Arabs, and we're in bondage to the Caucasian.
He said the Caucasians are in bondage to the Indo-Arabs.
He's saying that the Caucasian are the servants of the Indo-Arabs, not knowing it's the other way around.
I don't know about that one because the Caucasians been
saying.
running this planet for a minute now.
Exactly, it's the other way around.
They at one time were servants of the Indo-Arab because they came from out of that seed. You know what I'm saying? So you understand that we have the ability to also produce a albino baby, but our children come up with woolly hair, big lips, big nose, and so on. We used to have yellow hair, pale skin, and blue eyes, but we have Nagato features. There's the Caucasian race. See, you got different species of Caucasians. The other species came from the Fugarides, who was grafted from Yaqub's experiment 49,000 years ago from the Hindus. You know what I'm saying? And they were given that formula by the Pleiadians. The Indo-Arabs were created by mixing in with the Maccabeans, were humanoids mixed in with reptilians that were grays that came from the Mardians, and they were brought by the Phoenicians. This is why in the Holy Tablets, the master teacher talked about how Master Prophet Muhammad was a Phoenician, and he came to look for the black, original Asiatic black man, which was the Hindu. But he came in contact with the Negroid Africans that were here in America, and this is when they sent a being called Krill in the guise who incarnated in a being named the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. This is why Pop said he was a gray. You know what I'm saying?
The only Elijah Muhammad was a gray.
Yeah, that's what our master teacher taught us years ago.
Look at like one. You
Huh?
had it,
He doesn't even look like anything you ever saw before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But this was Krill. This is in the Holy Tablets.
The leader of the Ramadians.
Yeah.
So how many?
And in the update, the master teacher said that he is on the mother plane. And he's safe with his family. Yes, brother.
Get out of
Okay. Here's another question. He said this same person wants to know. Said, can I be a Nuwaupu if I only render my praise to Aten and embrace his messenger? Muhammad said, Aten who Yanu called Panatir Shil Natiru, because I am by nature a monotheist, because I wish a Jew, he won't join the order.
Repeat that one more time.
He says, can I be a Nuwaupu if I only render praise to Aten? You know,
Atun, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
And embrace his messenger, Muhammad.
Listen, in Wu-nuwaupu, we don't discriminate. You could be a Christian Nuwaupian, an Islamic Nuwaupian, a Jewish Nuwaupian, but at the end of the day, when we give you the right information on how all this stuff came out of ancient Tamaray, then you're going to eventually go back to it anyway. I mean, once he started...
Can you explain what happened with...
Well, Aten did a good praise to Aten because he took out all the other deities and only wanted to put it as one. You know what I'm saying? But he never, now if you was to study the Egyptian Book of the Dead, Aten never dissociated from the other deities. This is the great myth that the Europeans try to run with so they can use Aten teaching to make monotheism relevant, when Aten still gave praise to the other Nadaru.
Okay. I don't think...
That is in the book called Egyptian Book of the Dead that our master teacher had put out, Coming Forth by Day. Where he explained about what Aten did back then.
Okay.
And how he had certain prayers that Aten still announced to other Nadaru.
Okay. He has another question called. He said, can you give me a clear definition of 9 reason?
9 reason? What do you mean by 9 reason though?
He didn't specify. He just said, can you give me a clear definition of 9 reason?
When you talk to him again,
these are people who email their questions in.
okay,
because they watch the YouTube.
I don't watch this. When he got an email, the email that it came from, go back to him and tell him ask that question another way, because it's too. I mean 9 reasons. That could be 9 reasons why I'm a nigga. 9 reasons I'm a Nuwaupian. I mean, because we have a book called 9 Reasons to Be Nuwaupian and Not Them. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? I know they talk about 9 reasons inside of emotional energy, but I have to go back into that and get that. But I don't understand. I'm not going to answer that question, and I'm answering with emotional energy, and he could be talking about something totally different. So go to that email and ask him, can you be a little bit more specific about when you say 9 reasons?
All right. Okay, this person named Sweet's Daddy wants to know were the Nogaru here before being mixed with the Nestaru?
Yes.
Okay. And this other question is, were the Caucasian mixed with different species of monkeys?
Yes. That's in the Holy Tablets and also in the doctrine. The gibbon, the chimpanzee, and what was the other one? The orangutan.
The orangutan.
Yeah.
That was a brother in that Babylon.
That's why you see different Caucasian with different type of hair texture, because some of them came, I remember in one of the updates pops said the 3 monkeys, the pale skin monkey, the monkey with the black skin, and the one with the red.
Yeah,
the apes.
Those are orangutan with the red hair.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, this person named Naeem Sharif wants to know, she said, is it true that being around so-called unclean or leprous people who have a so-called skin disease are contagious?
She'll have to ask a dermatologist that question. Okay. I don't be around people that have skin problems like that. And I don't know if it's good. Like, let's talk about, there are some skin diseases that's a form of leprosy that you do catch from them. It's called chicken pox, measles, and what's the other one? Mumps, ringworms. Yeah, so it is some things. I don't, but a lot of people are forgetting that some of these skin illnesses, some of these skin illnesses and stuff, right, are a form of leprosy.
See, I was 19 years old when I moved to Canada. My first born was female, born July 22nd by a French Canadian girl. And she was clean, I mean truly clean. But I know she gave me crabs. I said, let me tell you something. I said, you can't get rid of crabs. I said, crabs grow on y'all. I don't care how clean.
You can cook them?
So I go Dutch. We was at the Holiday Inn.
All right, that's too much information. Come on. This is, you're getting real R-rated, man.
I proved it.
I got you.
In Minnesota.
I got you.
And every time they went to their relatives, house that was half breed white, they came back with life.
I got you.
And I kept them away from them, they never had them.
I got you.
So,
All right.
it was crazy.
All right. That's too much. That's too much information, brother.
Okay, she has another question. She said,
Yo, I know it's funny though. Some information is good. some information ain't to be heard. I got you, brother. It's all good.
her other question is, she says,
You're a funny guy, man.
She said-
I know this guy for a minute.
she
Yeah.
says, by studying and reading the Patarak and the actual facts, will it help us as Nagaru people know those of our ancestors that are there to help us and guide us, and those of our ancestors that are there to mislead us?
Yes, it will help you, because what happened is when you start mastering the patriarchs and the actual fact, you'll become nine-mind, meaning that you might not get along with a person right now because you don't like each other, right? And y'all might be from different species or have a different way of thinking. But if that person, like our master teacher said years, not too long ago, if this person studied patriarchs and actual fact and apply it and live in London, and you never met them, and this person lives in America and reads the patriarch and actual facts and master it and live by it, when they come together, it'll be like they long lost brothers and sisters or whatever, because they'll be on the same level mentally, and it will help you. You feel me? That's why people said the patriarchs and the actual fact was created so we can unify and love one another. Love and unity.
Now, when you were speaking about the double hump,
Yes.
and you said the second half of the 30 minutes was from
2000 to 2030.
2000 to 2030.
Remember the master teacher always said back in the days, in the old Ansar doctrine, he was talking about the year 2000 to 2030, the last time was called Yom Akra, the last days, you hear me? You know what I'm saying? But what happened is now that we're out of the Pisces era into the Aquarius era in the year 2000, we're out of the spell of religion. Now we're in the sun cycle, which is the age of life. And this is why all those dead religions we leave behind, and now we're in the here, the Patarak and the actual fact is the hereafter doctrine.
Okay. And when does the last planetary alignment happen?
I think what was the last time? That was December 31st, wasn't it? The last planetary alignment.
No, the next.
Oh, I have to look it up. I don't know. I can't say for right now.
Because I know it's in the Holy Tablet.
Yeah, but I don't know for right now.
Like 54.
54, what, 2054? It's gonna be a different ball game by then, bro. Huh? You remember it's 2030, they pick up their children. And different species will come here to pick up their children. And they'll destroy this planet, and then we'll come back and replenish it, and we'll be the rulers again. But they had to see what happened is that by that time, the Caucasian will have to be wiped out off the planet Earth because of their ways. They can't be reformed. And they got things like these machines that the Scientology use called declare machines, where they're saying that this machine will turn your positive and negative, but it's not gonna work.
No, all they're trying to do with the chemtrail.
Yeah.
That's what that chemtrail was all about. And they throwing it, sending down gay bombs.
You said gay bomb.
Gay bomb.
You said G-A-Y?
G-A-Y. Gay bomb.
What's a gay bomb?
This is a chemical that is mixed with all types of junk. And if you have your level, if you out there in the street, you smoking.
You become gay?
Smoking reefer, you doggone right. That's why I don't believe
What about the giraffes? What about the giraffes
Go out early.
and the hyenas and different animal species in Africa that's not getting those chemicals and they haven't humping each other?
They go out early in the morning.
Aye.
About 8 o'clock. And look across the sky and see what you see.
I got you. I know about the chemtrail. I don't know about no gay bomb. You heard that before?
Fog, and they talking about some fog. Remember back here when it was 10 degrees?
Homosexuality is older. Listen, homosexuality goes. Listen. Homosexuality is almost older than religion.
But it's running right.
And they did, no, listen. Homosexuality is older than religion.
Okay.
So what type of chemical they used back then?
Probably the gay bomb.
No, I'm just saying it was no gay bomb, man. Listen, our master teacher got a book called Genetic Kiss.
Right.
And another book called Patarak number, what's that, 18?
Yeah. Now see, Genetic Kiss, that book scared me. I've been so...
Male or female, who is God, male or female?
Yeah.
Where it goes in, when the master teacher break down why people are homosexual and not, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Ain't got nothing to do with no chemical. It's got to do with nature.
Right. Yeah,
Because
and-
in ancient Africa,
Right.
when a woman got pregnant, if you stress out the first 3 months of her pregnancy, right, and she carrying a male fetus, you could shock her, right, and put her in an emotional state where she produces extra amount of estrogen that goes into that male fetus.
Okay.
You hear me? So when the boy comes out, he has a hormone sexual. That's what Pop called him. This is why grandma said, oh, you need to give him some shots. Because he walking funny. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Huh? Nobody remember that? I'm the only one remember that.
I believe me.
Huh? You ever heard him sound? And I used to ask, like, what did you talk about shots? What shots did you talk about? And when I got older, then I said, oh, hormone shots. You got to catch it before puberty, though. You know what I mean? But what happened?
That's what I'm saying. Now they putting it in the homo gene.
Oh, it's not no homo gene. It's the foods you're eating. If you're eating, listen. Our master teacher said, if you're eating soy milk, it produces estrogen.
Yes.
If you're stressed out, this is why the Africans used to stay away from their wife for 9 months. You hear me?
Yeah.
Then you got hermaphrodites who have both spirits. And that's a dimensional thing. You ain't got nothing to do with what you're eating. Some people are made that way because because it's a part of their natural nature. Because what happened is these ancient homosexuals, right, or hermaphrodites, were called gatekeepers. We didn't look at them like, oh, he's a homosexual faggot. We didn't look at it like that. We still, Akhenaten had sex with women as well as men, and he was still respected as a pharaoh. You know what I'm saying? Because he was a hermaphrodite, and Nefertiti was a hermaphrodite, and they were able to open up wormholes. Because what happened is that as a male and a female, when you eat your food or do different things, you do it differently on how you do it as your gender, right? But a hermaphrodite, spirit-wise, do both. That's why they see colors differently. That's why your best fashion designers are homosexuals. You hear me? They taste food differently. You feel me? They're the best cooks, the best dancers. Am I right or wrong? Come on now.
Like Victoria's.
Huh? You hear me? So the whole thing is that these beings were a different type of being, and they were able to open up certain vortexes and wormholes. Certain people knew about that and were killing them off, and this is why they put stuff in the Bible saying, any man that sleep with mankind will be put to death. So they were using these laws and these religions to kill the gatekeepers, because these gatekeepers were able to open up wormholes to different dimensions where they could go to and fro.
Right.
Do you feel me?
Okay.
So over the years, they made, look, I don't care what another man does with his penis.
Right.
It ain't me.
I know that. Right.
But people get so caught up and let that guy have all the men he wants,
Let him be.
right? Because that makes more women for the men that don't any more women.
Right.
You hear me? Because it's 27-1. But people bash homosexuals.
No, that's
Because my master teacher said there's a difference. You got a homosexual, then you got pleasure seekers. Now, pleasure seeker is a person that will sleep with anybody. Dogs, cats, rats, gerbils. You know what I'm talking about. Toys.
Yeah.
All they care about is that nut.
That's what Sensei.
You hear me? The homosexuals or the people that's like that, the real homo, they into real relationships. Oh, I want the same sex marriage. I love this person. I'm not trying to have sex with all these different dudes.
Right.
I'm gonna marry this guy. That's a different type of mentality. You know what I'm saying? They're into a different type of union. Other cats are doing it for the pleasure. They don't care who they get it from.
Like lust.
Exactly. This is why a lot of your rappers are going that route, because they got caught up in this lust spell, which is Leviathan.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They might have been straight, but when they get that record contract, they going either you convert or you lose your record deal.
Yeah. Like they call it the dark side.
Yeah, what's it called? The white side, because I'm tired of dark in the dark. We're dark. You feel me? Always dark. Yeah, it says. Because the dark.
I don't know why they gave it that name.
I mean, because it was making negative. You know, white cat, black cat, black dog.
No, they do things in the dark.
Everything black.
Huh?
Was
They do
bad.
things in the dark.
I'm pretty sure blind people do things in the dark. You see them niggas just do it inside a room where nobody can't see them. But you know what I'm saying? You hear me?
No, what you were saying about the, wait a minute, the teachings of Wu-nuwaupu.
Yes.
Now, tell you once, if we would have been raised,
Yeah.
okay, take a child
Uh-huh.
and raise him, take 12 male, 12 female children from birth,
Yeah.
raise them in the Wu-nuwaupu, put the other ones out in this hell, what we came up in, under this whole Western system. And you tell me the ones that were raised in the Wappa, knew the tones of the river. We wouldn't have to worry about them.
Yeah, but you have to have your own land.
Right, okay.
From experience, the master teacher created 3 kingdoms. Nubia, Jezebel, upstate New York, Bushwick Avenue, and Tamaray, aka Kodesh or Wahani. Because it was still within the base, even though we had our own land, the influences are still there. People coming into the mission with their, oh, I used to be a hustler, I used to do this, I used to do that. And the kids who don't know no better become intrigued by that.
Right.
The master teacher said years ago, don't tell the children about your past life because they'll get influenced by it. Now they want to become gangster because you told these miraculous and amazing stories to the kids. They're like, oh, I wonder what it's like to be a killer, a hoe, or this, that. So they still get poisoned.
Yeah.
We're going to have to get to the point that we got to come out of her
Right.
and have our own land where we don't be governed by them. 'Cause even when we had our land, we still had our own culture. They didn't want that. That's why they came with these accusations to try to have a master teacher locked up for so many years, because they knew that he was raising gods and goddesses. And they had a culture. But these Europeans gonna come into our land or our reservation and try to judge our culture using that culture, and you can't do that. You can't take tribal members off their land and then use them against their own culture. You have done this to everybody's culture worldwide, and you keep using the same trick, and people keep falling for it. So we got to come out of her and get land, and where we won't have to be governed by nobody, and we won't have to worry about no influences. And this is the only way it will be a successful formula.
I believe, and millions of us believe too, that was the biggest mistake that they made.
Oh, you know what it is.
That was the biggest mistake that they, that's something that they're gonna have to answer for.
Oh yeah, you know they got.
In the spirit realm. Nature finna leash out
I got you.
and eliminate them. All of them that was responsible for it, they can forget it. Nature's on them right now.
All right.
Dogs, animals,
Castle.
deers, coyotes, mosquitoes, bees. It's finna be home.
I got you.
They ain't seen nothing this year. Wait till spring break. They don't wanna see what's
All
gonna come out
right.
of them
It's getting
woods.
late. And no more questions. We'll have class next week, 7:30, 10 o'clock. Be here or be square. Thank you for coming out. And what
Now,
Love you guys.